Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a Bible journal process video for you. I am working on day 5 of our first love from By the Well for God, and today I'm going to be journaling in the book of Philippians, specifically Philippians 2:5 through 11. So I will make sure to put everything that I use down in the description box. Heads up, those are affiliate links, some of them at least. They don't cost you anymore, but they do go a long way to supporting this channel. So I really appreciate when you're able to shop those. All right, I will put you all on fast forward. We will get going. Let's go. So one of the stamp sets that I'm a little surprised at that I just love so much this month is love letters. I of course loved it when it came out, but I keep reaching for it over and over and over again because I am loving all of these different line hearts. So you'll see me use them in this particular page to create kind of a fun background, and I'm going to use them to cover up the title. So I'm working in the Illustrating Bible, which I love because it's spiral bound, huge pages, huge margin. The thing I don't love about it would be at the beginning of each book of the Bible, they have the title drawn vertically like this, like covering up some of the margin. And I usually don't like it. I usually try to cover it up. And this time I'm going to use kind of a different technique. I'm stamping over the top of it, which at first might seem silly because of course you can still see it through there, but I'm trying to create this kind of chain of hearts in the background. And then I'm going to color those hearts in. And the way I decide to color them in will effectively cover up the title in the background as if it weren't there. So there's nothing wrong with having the title there. It's just not artistically what I wanted to do in that area. So I'm enjoying getting to use these stamps. And I like how with these line hearts that you can kind of connect them. They kind of form one big chain when you link them all together, and makes kind of a pretty cool pattern. So I really like that. I think it'd be pretty on the edge of a page, kind of hanging over. I think there's a lot of things you can do with this particular stamp set. And then of course, I love the Gigi in this stamp set. The girl that's in the mail carrier outfit, our sweet Gigi that is dressed to deliver the love letters this month. And I actually go ahead and opt to stamp Gigi down as well because on this page I am going to have several letters. So she's going to be my little mail carrier that's delivering these 3 letters, which for me are going to represent some traditions of the faith or just important pillars of the faith that I want to take note of. Okay, so now I am coloring in sections of the heart, and I'm using the acrylograph pens. These are filled with acrylic ink, and they are fantastic for coloring in all kinds of things. And what they're so great because you get an opaque look. So it absolutely covers what's underneath. So it covers up the title. I'm so pleased. I love these pens. Now, the one thing I would say is that I have been collecting the 0.7 millimeter pen, which are really detailed, really fine tips. They're not really meant for coloring in these bigger spaces. And so I know that after I finish collecting the 0.7 millimeter tips, I'll probably go back and try to collect the larger tips as well. I think they have a 3 millimeter tip and they sell them at By the Well for God. So I'll probably go back and try to get those because those would be much more effective for this type of coloring. But the smaller ones are really great for more detailed coloring, which you'll see me come back and color Gigi here in the end. Now I have several different sets of these markers and I have mine all grouped together. So I'm not really sure which one is from which set. And the interesting thing about the acrylographs are that they don't have color names. They're just you can just see the color on the cap and it matches pretty closely, but they're not individually named, which I think is pretty interesting, but they come in sets. So they're just a fantastic tool. They're definitely my new favorite tool as of late in my Bible journaling and in my morning journaling. I am loving them just because they cover so well. I love the detailed nib on them. I think the colors that you can get them in are absolutely beautiful. So just one of my favorite tools that I've found myself using a lot these days. Now I will start coloring in my little mail carrier. You could definitely do the same technique with different paint pens. You could use some colored pencils. Of course, with the colored pencils, you would see the lines coming through. So that would be a little bit tricky. You could just use acrylic paint and a really fine tipped paintbrush. There are some different options. The acrylograph markers just make it really easy. So I am specifically looking at Ephesians 2, and originally I was really focusing on 6 through 11, but the beginning of Ephesians 2 is also just one of my favorite sections in the Bible. And it says, "Therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, any common sharing in the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and of one mind. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of the others." And the devotion in day 5 had us focusing on the traditions of our faith, traditions that maybe were passed down to us and what traditions we were wanting to pass on. And that really had me thinking about what I want to teach my children about faith and do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. That is just a lesson, a tradition that I want my kids to carry forward. And I think that's a tradition that is taught in the gospel, one of the pillars of the faith for sure. So, one of the ways I'm going to journal that here would be through 3 letters. So, I have 3 kids, so I'm just using the 3 as just symbolic of my 3 kiddos. And I'm using the stamp set that's called Enveloped in Love, which makes these really cute little envelopes. So I'm stamping them out on some of the scrap paper that coordinates with the kit. And then you can see I cut it out and we'll bend them into these envelopes. I'm not going to seal them up though. So you could definitely add adhesive and get these to seal up and be actual functioning little envelopes, but I want mine to pop all of the way open. Then inside of each envelope, I'm going to put one of these flashcards and I'm going to cut it down so that I can adhere it inside the envelope so that you can open the envelope completely and see the flashcard inside. And I'm choosing some phrases that I think fit well with the verses that I'm reflecting on. So the agape love, the selfless love, the complete love that is described. Is how you would describe God's love and Jesus' love for us. Worship, which to me really represents putting God above oneself, worshiping someone in complete and total love. And then the gospel, which is the biggest tradition to pass on to my kiddos. So I'm going to adhere it. You can see inside the envelope. And then when you fold and close the envelope, you won't be able to see it, but it will be kind of an interactive element on the page because you'll be able to open them and see what is written inside for that little flashcard. And I just love the idea of the interactive element of inviting people to open your Bible and to look deeper into it because I think that's kind of what Bible journaling represents. So as of late, I've been having all kinds of camera issues, so I actually had to re-film this. I am using wax melts and wax seals that I got from a company called Craspire, and they sell all kinds of these wax seals, and they sent me some of their product to try, and I was so excited to receive it in time to work through this kit because I think this is a great kit to be using wax seals on. And I'm showing you the technique that I chose to use. So mine kind of work like candles. You light the end and then it starts to melt the wax. I am melting the wax onto a plastic cutting board that I got from the Dollar Tree. I don't have a lot of patience, so I did not use enough wax. It takes plenty of wax to do a wax seal, especially the ones that are the size that I'm doing. But you can see I'm kind of melting it into a little puddle right here, being really patient as I can. And then you just simply press down the seal. I hold it there for just a second, let it kind of form up, and then I pull off the handle and I have my little seal right there. And I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to show you how I do it one more time with a different color wax. This is a new color. I got their sample pack, which is a great way to just try a lot of different colors. And then they have some sets of handles, some sets of seals that are kind of interchangeable. So they're a lot of fun to play with. It took some practice and I kind of dug that. I thought it was a lot of fun. You can see I'm going to try to be really patient and actually get enough wax. I keep rotating the kind of candle, the wax in my hand to make sure that it is burning evenly, if that makes sense. You have to be pretty patient. And like I said, I think it's going to take some patience to get better at it. The reason I'm using the plastic cutting board is because I didn't want these letters to be completely sealed. I wanted the wax seals to be like faux wax seals to where you could still pop open the letter. And so I wanted to be able to pop them off of whatever I created them on. So here's how my next one turns out. And again, just an example to show you how it works. These are not the ones I end up using on my page. I had some more that I made where I lost the footage, but same procedure. That's how I make them. They are so fun to do. Okay, and I showed you that glue real fast. That's Fabri-Tac glue, and that is how I glued the seal onto the paper at the top of the envelope, and then I did not glue it on the bottom so that you could still lift it. So when it's closed, it looks as if it's sealed, and then you're still able to open it and see what's inside of the envelope. Now I'm just doing a few little touch-ups here and there on the hearts, and then I will grab these envelopes and put them in place. And by the way, on a side note, I super apologize if you can hear my dog in the background. I have an old beagle and she has some breathing issues, and so she makes some lovely sounds, but I can't help it. She loves spending time in my craft room, so sometimes those noises get in on my video and it just happens. So I apologize if you're wondering what that sound is in the back. It is the sound of my old beagle snoring away in the back. All right, so you can see I'm just adhering my little envelopes with my advanced tape glider from Scotch, and it looks as if my mail carrier is delivering these little letters of love. And at first I thought, so after I adhere them, you can see I have a Tombow tape runner there, and that is Tombow removable adhesive, so not permanent adhesive. And I thought it might work really well to kind of tack those envelopes closed, but you would still be able to open them. In the end, it didn't really stick to the wax very well, so that was not the right thing to use there. I ended up going without adhesive. Once my Bible is closed for a while, it's not going to be a problem. They're going to lay pretty flat and pretty closed. Right now, they're wanting to pop open, but that's okay. It'll all close eventually. And I just again, I like that you're opening them. I like that you're invited to interact with the journaling. I am looking to add my title to the page. At first, I thought I would use the clear alphas, but really it was going to be too big. So now I've switched to the tile alphas, and I'm just going to add the title. That is the title for day 5, which is tradition. And I'm just going to continue it by saying traditions of the faith. The last step for this page will be to grab my roller date stamp, my Heidi Swap roller date stamp, and I will use that to add the date over there in the bottom right corner where there's a little bit of white space. I always like to triple stamp my date, and some people have asked why I do that, and I don't know. It's something I've always done. I like the messy date look, so it's just something that's kind of something I've always done with Bible journaling, so there it is. And that's it for this page. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have listed all the supplies down below with links, so if you're interested, make sure to check those out. I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.